The guy who, I mean, he leaves his dog outside in the code. I think that's kind of like leaving somebody's kid outside.
There are charges tonight for the owner of that 3-year-old pit bull left chained to a table in sub-zero temperature.
Utica police charged the owner with 3 violations, including allowing a dog to run at large.
I agree with the police department keeping it, the privacy owner, under wraps. And
I don't understand why you're not releasing his name. The gentleman that was supposedly responsible for this. If you go out and you drink and you drive and you get caught, your name goes in the paper. If you rob a convenience store, your name goes in the paper. Before the trial, for conviction, you're still listed in the newspaper and your name gets aired to the public. Don't child molesters get listed?
We reported a story yesterday about a young lady who had left her infant child in the car unattended for a half an hour.
Ashley Tedesco, 22-year-old.
And as horrible as that is, and I'm sure many people are upset by it, you don't get the type of community response with an infant child left unattended as you do with a dog left out in the cold. And which one is worse, you know?
Some of what we really need to look at here is exactly how does the information get portrayed, or how did the information get put out there? One of the things that we know is that there's a difference in style of media, and certainly the immediacy of video footage of something pulls for much more of almost a gut reaction. So there's something about seeing video footage of a dog shivering in the back of a police cruiser that, most people who see that, can't help but have some sort of feeling for the animal. The question that we have to ask is, well, how was the child's situation who was left in a car that wasn't running? How was that reported? Was there any footage relating to the child?
Well, I think maybe one of the things is because our society is so visual now. When there's an animal abuse case, there's pictures of that animal on the news with the marks and the cuts and the different signs of abuse. That gets released to the public. We see that on TV or on the internet. With regards to human beings who are abused, those pictures aren't put out there for the public to see, and there's a good reason for that. It's because we're protecting the privacy of the victims. They shouldn't have their photograph plastered all over the news with their injuries. So I think in a way we're very visual people. If you don't see it, it's harder to understand and to grasp.
Images are very powerful at being able to particularly stir outrage at certain kinds of behavior. You see this is not a new thing. We've noticed that, for example, within the civil rights movement in the 1960s, it was the televised footage of what happened on the Edmund Pettus Bridge that started to galvanize the attitudes of the country in support of civil rights. More recently, the televised footage of what was going on in Egypt really tended to shift world opinion very swiftly. So similarly, if you've got televised images of the plight of a dog who's been mistreated, that clearly is going to have an effect upon people.
Images are powerful. Some have spurred major movements for social change throughout history, and especially today with the use of advanced technology, a major reason why some governments use censorship to keep certain images from their own people. But the ability to capture and tell compelling stories through the use of photos and other art forms is a valuable skill. Since the beginning of time, man has used imagery to communicate and understand the world and one another. Even as we advance into the 21st century, the use of imagery continues to play a vital role in all cultures because human beings are visual creatures. In addition to raising awareness about animal abuse, the Apollo story revealed that despite the subject's background, such as a bad reputation, suffering captured in a photo moves many to defend something or someone they previously condemned. Thank you for listening. I'm Jeanette Lenoir.